Hi everybody and welcome back to Beetlenees Plays. I'm Beetlenees and just in case you haven't been here before, that is, and I'm here having a look at a brand new release which was late last week, I think it was like Thursday or Friday, I can't remember, of Baldur's Gate 3. And what I thought I would look at today and show everybody is what my settings are on Geforce now, and the same would apply to a PC, and also go through some of the character creation. Just to nothing too in depth, just a general sort of overview, and also one or two hints and tips that I can throw your way. I'm not a expert at RPGs. It's a genre that I've played on and off throughout my life, but it is a genre that I love and I keep coming back to as well. So even though I featured Sims on the channel up to this point, I'm looking at doing one or two other genres as well, and I thought I'd start off with this one. So let's get into it. Hi everybody, how's everybody doing? So yeah, been on a little bit of a long break. We had one or two bits and bobs to sort out around the house, and also gig-wise, having to get some practice in and sort stuff out for quite a few gigs that we've had and still got to come up as well. So anyway, let's get into this game now. The first hint, well actually, what I will say first of all is I'm playing this on Geforce now. I'm on the 4080 tier, which is the ultimate tier, and I am using an Xbox controller to play the game. So I'm not using keyboard and mouse, I'm actually using a controller. So if you want to see how that works, then stick around. And please, if you do like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more gameplay videos, review videos, hints and tips and stuff like that. So let's get into this. So here's where we start. Now, as you can see, I've already been playing the game. Now, I've had this game from early access. Didn't do a lot on the game, to be honest. Probably played, I think it probably got through about 7-8 hours, I can't remember now, to be honest. And then I thought I'd leave it because I knew that there was going to be some different features obviously coming out on the full release of the game. So I thought I'd just leave it and wait for the full release. And then I started a brand new game, so I've had another in fact, let's just have a look at that. I can't remember exactly how. Yeah, I've done about 8 hours on this as well, so so that's where I'm up to. So we will start a new campaign, and then I can actually take you through the character creation. But first of all, let's have a look at the options that we have within the game. And we've got the gameplay options there. I've not done anything to do with the gameplay. I have stuck all this on just to, well, you know, it's just out of interest, isn't it, really? But yeah, there's all sorts of kind of settings that you can have if you go down the list. So I mean, you know, obviously play about to your heart's content. This karmic device one here, as it says, I mean, the game itself does explain quite a lot, and it says on there on the right, karmic device avoid failure streaks while keeping the results mostly random. So basically, I think what that's alluding to is that you won't keep getting ones, you know, like one after one after one after one, or 6 after 6 after 6 after 6 on the dice and stuff like that. It will kind of randomize it without making it too random kind of thing. So that's basically what that is. And as I said, just bear in mind, I'm no expert on RPGs. I'm giving it from my point of view. I'm coming at it. In fact, the whole channel really is built around the fact of coming at games from what, you know, 80 to 90% of players will come at them. You know, you're perhaps not that fully into them. You enjoy playing them, but you're not an expert, and that's the kind of angle I'm coming at it. So yeah, just go down the settings of the gameplay and just see what you want to turn on and what you want to turn off. I mean, obviously, if there's kids involved, you'll be wanting to turn off the old genitalia, shall we say, and stuff like that, if they're particularly young kids and stuff. There are some certain sort of intimate scenes, shall we say, apparently in this game. I've not had any at the moment, but so yeah, if you've got kids around, just be a little bit careful. Now, I don't know if you picked that up there. The sound actually went off a little bit there, and then it came back on. Now, this is a bit of an issue on Geforce now, actually, and I thought it was just me at first, and I had this on early access, but apparently quite a few people are having this slight stuttering now and again, and where the sound will go off and come back on. So I've tried different settings, nothing seems to have worked, so it's got to be something at their end. Let's hope that they can fix it. It's not spoiling the gameplay. When the game first came out, it was quite bad, I'll admit, but generally it happens probably once every minute or two. So it's not like it's a really bad thing, but just bear that in mind. If you are on Geforce now, you may just get something like that. So controller settings. So I'm playing it, as I said, on an Xbox controller, and this is all the settings there. And it does work pretty well on a controller, I have to say. When I was playing early access, there wasn't an internal controller configuration, so I was using one of the Steam user-generated ones, which you can download, one of the community setups, and that worked quite well as well, actually. But I thought I'd try the in-game one now. It's been fully released, and this one works equally as well, I find. So I've got quite used to it, and so it does work pretty well on a controller. And I'm coming from a background of consoles, so I don't find using a mouse and keyboard that intuitive, so it does work pretty well if you wanted to use a controller. But I mean, I do know it does work well on a mouse and keyboard as well, so whichever way you want to go, it's you've got the options there. Video wise, so as I said, I'm on the ultimate tier 4080, so as you can see there, I'm playing using the 4080 Nvidia RTX 4080. It will automatically set these up for you. Going down, there's your 4K there, and your 59 Hz refresh rate. Now, just to bear in mind, I can't record on my Shield at those specs, so the video that you're watching is 1080p at 30 FPS, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it's just how my Nvidia Shield records, because that's what I'm playing it on. I'm not playing it on a PC. And there are different frame rate, different settings down there. I just happened to see that bit there, frame rate cap. I did actually set that on to see if that made any difference to this little choppiness that we're getting, but it doesn't seem to make any difference at all. But as you can see, I've got the ultra setting there, and everything is basically on high or ultra, and it does really make the game look quite special. Audio, I did just turn the music volume down to 20, as you can see just there, and I think that's the only thing I messed around with on the audio. Interface, I did have a bit of a problem with that to start with. It wouldn't automatically pick up my Xbox controller, but I changed it on to wait a minute, where are we? Oh, what's happened there? I don't know what's happened there now. What has gone off there? Oh, I know why. It's because I've changed it onto keyboard, haven't I? That's why. Right, let me get my yeah, shouldn't have done that really, but it just shows you what does happen. Let's get that back onto automatic and see if that makes a difference. And it's not doing it at the moment, is it? This is the problem I had at the start, guys, actually. Oh, there we go. It's come back. Right, there we go. So it has automatically picked it up. So yeah, I'm not going to mess about with that anymore. I've got tutorials on, everything like that. Subtitles are all on. So again, you can play around with these as you see fit. And then in the accessibility there, we've got various other options for accessibility. See again, little break there, like I said, whether you're picking that up or not, but anyway, so that's all the settings. Not messed around with anything too much, but there we go. Now, one of the first things I would say about playing this game is by the way, I did choose balanced. When I was playing it in early access, I did actually use Explorer, but I've decided to play on a balanced setting for my campaign now the full release is out. And what I was going to say was one of the first, if you've just watched up to here and you want to bugger off, that's entirely up to you, obviously. But take one bit of advice away from this video, and that is play the game how the hell you like to play. And I would always say that about any game. You don't have to listen to anybody else, me included, about how to play the game. You play it how you like. It's not an easy game to get into, especially if you're not used to RPGs, but it's not all that difficult either. If you follow the tutorials, you've always got Google out there and YouTube videos to help you out if you get stuck. But just play the game how you like. All this rubbish about, if you go to this place first, you will get this weapon and you'll get that goodie, and you go to speak to somebody and you'll get this and that and the other and stuff like that, and it's spoiling the game. You've paid good money for games. Just play them how you like to play. If you take one thing away from this video, please take that advice away. Play it how you want to play it. That's what I would always say. So we're gonna, it doesn't matter what we choose at this point, to be honest. I'll choose balance mode, and let's get the game loaded in. Now skip forward to the setup. We didn't want to go through all the video and everything like that. So we're here at the setup and character creation screen, and as you can see, we have along the top of the screen, we've got origin, race, sub-race, cantrips, class, background, ability, skills, appearance. Now I could go really in depth on here and show you every single little thing that is on this particular section of the game, but I'm not going to. There are other people out there that have done this. If you want to go into it really in depth, then please go and watch somebody else's video. As I said, I don't understand everything that is on the setup and how the system works. I know a little bit, a fair bit, if even, but I'm by no means an expert. So as you can see, we've got a custom sort of character there, and if I move the controller to the right on the D-pad, then you can choose an origin character. So if you're going to choose an origin character, you can choose any one of these characters down here, and you can play as any one of those. And if you want just a simple setup, then go for that. That's what I would say there, because it's going to save you a lot of messing about. And if you notice on the right hand side over here, let me just go back to that. So if you look on the right hand side, we've got Astarion, and he's a high elf, and he's got all his stats down there. So he's got a strength of 8, dexterity 17, constitution 14, intelligence 13, and so on and so forth. So they are your stats. Now it will tell you if you toggle the info, which, to be honest, I can't actually do at the moment. I think I'm probably going to have to select if we do that actually. No, that's just that bit, isn't it? Right. Okay. There are a certain point of the game you can actually click the right stick and it will show you details of things, but I can't actually do that at the moment. I was wanting to actually hover over the strength, dexterity, constitution, etc., and show you the actual information about that. But basically, I mean, they're all fairly self-explanatory. I mean, strength is strength, dexterity is how quickly you run, for example, how high you can jump. Constitution is more to do with sort of spells and stuff like that. Intelligence is the same, and then you've got wisdom and charisma. Charisma is very good for conversation, for example. and you've got initiative, and it points down at the bottom there. So you know, just have a look at all the stats and see what type of character you want to play. So for example, if we choose the wizard there, you will see that they're very high on intelligence, and it's also starred as well, so that's kind of telling you that that's their main ability that you need to be concentrating on if you want to, you know, if you want to really make them a powerful wizard. But obviously, as you level up, the choice is yours. You go, if you want to make them you know, like give them more muscle, as it were, to be more of a tank type character, then go for strength. It's entirely up to you how you play the game, as I said. So this is the character creation. But if you go back to the custom setting, you can basically choose what you like. You've got different body types. So you've got, how many have we got altogether? We've got 4 body types altogether. You can choose male and female. Although, yeah, I did find this actually. It doesn't, you know, I mean, he doesn't look, you know, it's the same character, isn't it? Regardless of what you're going on to there. So I don't know why that is happening, whether it's a little bug in the game or what, but it's certainly not showing you a female body. But if you go on to body type 1, I think that then does. Well, that's, yeah, that's just sticking to female. So I don't know. Even if you go to the male setting, it's still showing a female-looking body. So I don't know. I don't know how it's working. But you can get it set up how you like anyway. After that, you've got race. So you can basically choose whether you want to be human, Githyanki, dwarf. You've got loads of different races here that you can choose to be. And again, if you go through the stats on the right, the stats, well, actually the stats aren't changing at the moment. I don't think the race actually comes into that. If you go to sub race, you can even choose sub races. You've got high half elf, and you've got wood half elf, for example. So you can actually have the sub races there. You've then got class. So this is where your stats will change. So if you notice again, wizard, you've got intelligence, which is 17, and you've gone to barbarian, and you notice the strength now is 17. So basically, it's changing the stats dependent on what class you are. Now, if we move on to background, you can see that you've got certain backgrounds to the character. So this is what how people will react to you, basically. So depending on what your background is, will determine how other people react to you when you're talking to them. So just bear that in mind. And after that, we have abilities. And now, as you can see here, this is where you can choose what abilities you want to concentrate on. So if you notice that she's got strength of 17, and then she's got 2 green dots at the end, and on constitution she's got 15 with 1 green dot. Now, what that applies to is, I think you can have a maximum of 15 when you first start. You can't have any more than 15 on each of these abilities. So it's playing up quite a bit this morning, to be honest. It's having one of those mornings, I think. So, but if you go down to here, you can actually assign which of the abilities you want to have as an extra couple of points in addition to the 15. So as you can see, it's like on strength now, but if I put that onto dexterity, look, it changes to, it's giving you an extra couple on dexterity. And if I go up to dexterity, I should be able to make that up to wait a minute, if we need to take a couple off another one, there we go. We can actually now move that up to, well, that's gone up to 16, but you can actually raise it above the 15 anyway, dependent on how you choose these down here. Constitution, That's now moved it onto intelligence. That's now moved the extra point onto wisdom, and so on and so forth. So you get the idea on that. So it will allow you to choose an extra couple of bonus points on any of these particular abilities. And if we go on to skills, you've now got your proficiency basically. So where do you want your proficiencies? It's highlighting animal handling down here, so you can choose that. And you know what you really want to be doing, guys. You've finally got appearance here, so you can change the character up and everything like that. And basically, you want to be spending half an hour to an hour in this lot. Honestly, take your time, get a setup that you really like, and really make it your own. As I said, if you just want to get straight into it, use one of the origin characters. But if you want to make the character something that you know you might want to make them look like you. I don't. I'll be honest. If I'm playing RPG, I tend to have a female character. I don't know why. I think it stems from the days of Tomb Raider when Tomb Raider came out, and I've tended to have a female character ever since. And I always call her Cythiel. I always give her red hair and red eyes. It's just what I do. But you know, you may want somebody that looks like you. You may want somebody that looks totally different to you. You may want to just use an origin character. It doesn't matter. But as I said, just make sure that you take your time over this and you do whatever you like to do. Now, just before I move on, I just thought I'd show you this start screen on Geforce now. I think it's just happening on Geforce now. I'm not sure it's happening on PC at all. And you get faced with, rather ironically, this driver's message which says the installed NVIDIA drivers, graphics drivers, is older than our recommended version, which, like I said, it's rather ironic because it's NVIDIA GeForce Now, what I'm playing on. So I don't know. There's obviously some issue going off there. I mean, it's not affecting the gameplay at all, or not to any great extent. I mean, it may have something to do with the choppiness of the graphics. I don't know, but from what I can gather, they're supposed to be fixing it, but I've not seen a fix yet. As you can see, it's still there. There's also another one behind it as well, which is talking about your past data. But people have reported that they haven't even played the game before, and they get this past data message, which hasn't been transferred or something. I'm not going to close the window because it just messes things up. So the way to get out of this anyway is to just get your overlay. For Steam, and then you can just click on that play, and it will take you into the game as is being shown there. So as you can see here, I'm just at the current time on this bridge, and I'm just going to cancel my phone, because every time I come on something starts happening to my phone, which is absolutely typical. So yeah, we're on this bridge, and the first thing I want to talk about, remember the first tip being play as you like. I've kept saying that, and I'll keep saying that. Play as you want to play the game. But secondly, I would say make sure that you quick save regularly. This is just a general tip, really. So, I mean, quick save or save, it's entirely up to you. So the way it works on the controller is if you press the right trigger button, and there's some hot buttons as well, which I'll go through in a minute. But if you go onto here, you get a dial menu, and you've got various things that you can access from here. So you've got your character sheet, spell book, journal, combat log, long rest, go to camp, short rest, turn-based mode, map, and alchemy. And then there we have level up when that's available. So this is off the dial menu, and if you notice at the bottom it says quick save and quick load. So if I press quick save now, it will actually do a quick save as it suggests. And if you wanted to quick load, then you would just press and hold X. Now, if anybody is not aware of this, the idea of this really is to just allow you to spam your saves, basically. So you are saving just before a battle, say. If the battle doesn't go well, you can quick load and load that that saving that you saved just before the battle. So it's just a way of not wasting too much time, I suppose, if things go a little bit pear-shaped. So that's how you quick save. If you want to do a fuller save, then if you press the options button, the one with the 3 lines on the hamburger button or chest of drawers, whatever you want to call it, on the controller, and go down to save game and save game, I should say, and you've got save game there and load game there as well. So yeah, make sure you save your game regularly, because you don't want to be doing a lot of work, and then if things, like I say, go pear-shaped, you've lost all that work, haven't you? So on to the next tip. So tactical view. So there is, if you notice, you can basically, I mean, if you're wondering about whether to get this game or not, because it's a turn-based game and it's a top-down game kind of thing, you can actually, as you see, you can actually play more or less as a third-person RPG. This is what I like about it. You know, you can play it as a third-person RPG like that. You can't go into first-person, but you can do it like that, or you can zoom out like that and play it from a lot bigger sort of zone of vision kind of thing, perspective. But if you come up with the right, so this is all done on the right stick, by the way. If you bring the right stick backwards all the way, you actually get to that view, which is called tactical view. And when you're in that view, you can actually get a full top-down view, and at the moment you can't scroll around. I mean, if I move my stick, it's basically just spinning around like that. So what you need to do is click the left stick, which then puts you into this mode, and I can't remember what they call the mode now, but it basically allows you to move all around. So you can't go too far, but you can survey, you know, quite a long distance away from where you actually are. Now this is particularly helpful if you are in a battle, because you can get a nice tactical view of your surroundings and see what you can do to get the best way of defeating the enemies. So that's a good little tip to use there. Let me just have a quick look actually, 'cause I can't remember what they call that. My age is catching up with me again. Let's go to there. So clicking the left stick. Well, just selection cursor. It's just basically bringing a mouse cursor up, isn't it? That's all it's doing. So you just got a cursor there, and you can select various things. Like I can select that traveller's chest there. There's or that log, I think you can select. Yeah, there's that log there. You can actually have a sit down on that log if you wanted to. So that just allows you to do that. So remember to use that as you like your cursor. That's the left stick on, or clicking the left stick, and then you've also got the zoom in and out on your right stick. So make use of those. Dialogue options now. So if we come down and I walk up to one of the characters, if they stay still long enough so I can talk to Astarion. So you've got various options here. Now this game is so intricately made that, you know, it's not just a case of fighting your way out of battles and stuff like that. There's obviously puzzles to solve and various things, places to explore, but also dialogue comes into it as well, and you can quite often, depending on your skills as well, as a talker, get yourself out of trouble. So rather than fighting you out of trouble, you can talk your way out of trouble. And if your character is pretty high on charisma, the ability charisma, which this guy is actually, if we go and have a quick look at him, so I'm pressing the left trigger button there and going down to Astarion. I press A on him to confirm it, and then if we go onto there, press right trigger to get into the dial menu, we'll go up to there, and if we have a look at his proficiencies, we can see that was it proficiencies, or it might have been characteristics, wasn't it? No, it's not characteristics either. I did see somewhere that he's. I mean, he's got perception there, which persuasion as well. But I think charisma does come into it somewhere. Although, yeah, that's actually interesting. Because I can't find. Where is his charisma? Oh, charisma's sorry, his charisma's on the right, isn't it? I'm forgetting. So his charisma's 10. It's not that high, to be honest, actually. But I do believe that if you increase the charisma, then you can actually start to persuade people more. But you've also got these here as well. I mean, you've got persuasion there, which is a definite plus for that, turning on the charm and everything like that. But obviously, persuasion and charisma and all things like that will improve your chances of talking your way out of trouble. So that's talking to people. Yeah, make sure you talk to people, and also if you we'll come to that in a minute. I'll just there's another part that's related to that really. Well, we could have a look at it now actually. So another tip is to go to your camp regularly. So you can set a camp up more or less anywhere, and go into the camp and take a rest. Now you can have a short rest, which is that one there, and you get 2 short rests per day. And then there's a longer rest where if you go to the camp, I mean you can just go to the camp anyway, you don't have to rest if you don't want, but yeah, within the camp you can go up to one of the bed rolls here, and you can actually use it and sleep overnight, and usually conversation or dialogue will start to take place, and it's basically where you can plan for certain events. You can even start a relationship with somebody who you quite fancy. There's lots of things happening here. If somebody wants to talk to you, they'll normally above their head they will have a little white box with an exclamation mark in it. So that's how you know somebody actually wants to talk to you. None of my characters have actually got that at the moment, so I can't actually show you that. But yeah, so make sure you come to your camp regularly and have a chat with people and everything. And after you've done that, again, save your game, do a quick save, and then everything's nice and up to date. So another one is dice rolls. Now on your skills, let me just if I can, I look at the skills. I can look at the skills here, can't I? So if I go to there, you will on top of your ability points, you will get quite often a dice roll or a die roll if there's just one, and it will add to your score to improve your chances of doing whatever it is you're trying to do. So there are dice rolls in this. Sometimes it's 1 dice, sometimes it's 2, and you can actually influence the dice as well, from what I believe. If you level up, if you I can't remember what section it is. It's Divinity we're looking for, and I'm not sure what section that is in Divinity. But if you look out for Divinity, that actually allows you, I believe, to be able to foresee dice rolls. So basically what happens is, if you roll a die and you don't get the score that you want, you can actually throw in that curveball of what you foresaw. It's like you set it up previously, and let's say you roll a 1, you don't like it, you can then go to what you foresaw and you say, look, I rolled a 5, I foresaw a 5, so you can actually then use that score of 5 instead of the score of 1. So it's quite a handy little tool to have, that actually. So yeah, look out for the Divinity power up or level up or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, dice rolls are quite important, and you can influence the dice rolls a little bit further as well with certain abilities. You can have a +1 added to the roll or a +2 added to the roll for certain skill sets that you have. So yeah, so dice rolls are quite an important factor. They throw in a little bit of randomness, and you know, it sort of helps with the excitement of the game, I suppose. So and it's all part of the D&D rules. I think it's on 5e now. So yeah. So just bear in mind that there are dice rolls in the game. Stealth mode. Let's just come out of here. So if you press and hold the D-pad, then that puts all your party into stealth mode, and that basically allows you to sneak up onto people and what have you. And if you can get a surprise attack in, then that will really boost your attack points basically against your enemy. And quite often you'll get an advantage as well, where you actually get a free turn, because the way the combat works, if you didn't know, is it sort of goes around each player in turn, and you actually get an extra turn sometimes if you surprise the other party. So yeah, so stealth mode is quite important, and then you press and hold it to come back out of stealth mode again. So that is that. Now then, spellbook. So if you are a wizard particularly, spellbook's quite important. It may be important for certain other characters, or will be for certain other characters. But as you can see here, you've got your spellbook, and you can actually learn new spells in here. In fact, he's not the best character to show you really. Let's go to Seal. So let's have a look at Seal's spellbook we want, isn't it? So yeah, if we go to here, we've got cantrips down here. Now cantrips are just basically spells that don't take up any mana, if you like. Now there's no mana in this game, so to speak. They're called spell slots, and you're allowed so many spell slots depending on how big a level you are. But cantrips are the kind of passive spells that they're there all the time, and you can use them all the time. And the other spells are the ones up here, where it says prepared spells, and you need to you only have enough goes at these as you have spell slots. So once your spell slots are used up, you see it says there level 1 spell slot at the bottom of the info box. So once you've used up your spell slots, you can't use any more of this type of spell. You can still use your cantrips, but not the spells. And if you're a wizard, you have to pre-prepare your spells as well. So like any other spells that you have, you can have a whole array of spells, but you can only actually use in the field, if you like, spells that you've already pre-prepared. And as you can see at the top of the screen, you've got Y, learn more spells. If you press Y, you can actually learn other spells. Now I can't wait to get this one, detect thoughts, but I can't get it because the spell level is too high for me at the moment, so I'm going to have to wait for that one. But you can learn more spells on the way. Now, one advantage of the wizard on a kind of spellcaster character is that you can learn more or less every spell in the game. Whereas if you play sorcerer, they have a certain amount of spells assigned to them, if you like. You can't learn new spells, but the spells that they have are quite powerful, and yeah, they're sort of worked in a slightly different way to the wizard who has to actually prepare the spells first, and you can only take so many spells with you, if you like. So just bear that in mind if you're building your character. Depends on how you want to work it, really. I decided to go for wizard because I just quite fancied trying all of the spells in the game, or most of the spells in the game, whatever are available for the wizard. But it is a vast amount of spells, and they can learn spells from spell books, which you can find around the world. You can find a spell book, read it, and then learn it. So whereas a sorcerer, for example, can't do that. They only know the spells that they know, and that's it. So that's spell books. And stats. I mean, we've already covered stats really, but if we go to stats, you can see on the right again, you know, we're talking about the on the right over here, just below. Well, there we can see it now, can't we? So it tells you there Strength is currently 8, and dexterity is 14. And it tells you all what it means: agility, reflexes, and balance. Constitution, stamina, and physical endurance. So affects your hit point maximum. So yeah. Don't if you're a beginner or you don't know a lot about it, a bit like me really, don't pay too much attention to stats. I mean, they are important. You do need to kind of work them out. There's a little bit of maths going off, you know. Basically, if you've got more attack points than your defender's got defense points or AP, or sorry, AC I should say, then you're fine. If your defender's got more AC than you've got attack points, then you're not going to kill them straight away. You may kill them eventually after 2 or 3 goes, but not straight away. So it's just a case of taking one off the other really, and leveling up on whatever abilities you want to level up at. So you know, stats are important, but they get more important the more you get into RPGs, I suppose, really. But don't worry about them too much, and the game has got plenty of tutorials to help you out. So then we've got what's that? I was just looking at my my list of notes here. So yeah, turn-based mode. So what you can do, if you notice, you can if you're walking around. Let's come out of here. Actually, let's get back to the normal game. So if I'm walking around like this is kind of real time and everybody's moving with me, which you might not always want to do. So now, I did actually record a battle in the chapel. It's a chapel that you come across fairly early in the game, and I was quite chuffed with how it went, to be honest. After a number of goes at doing it, it probably took me about 3 or 4 goes to do it, because one of the characters is about, was he something like a 25 level, and it was well, he had 25 AC anyway, and it was quite a devil to get rid of. So yeah, I tried a different tack and it worked really well. So I'll stick that video up. But yeah, if you want to do a little bit of planning and try and place your characters where you want to place them, then use turn-based mode. Now, turn-based mode is what's used in battles. So each player takes the turn at attacking or doing whatever they want to do, moving around or whatever. But if you want to do that in the normal gameplay, as it were, like we are here, then as you notice that they just follow you around and you're all working as a team. Now you can separate people out by pressing LT, and you notice at the bottom you've got group and split on the X and Y buttons. But another way of doing it is by going into your dial menu and selecting that one there, which is turn-based mode. It tells you there, swap between real-time direct control and turn-based gameplay. So we're going into turn-based gameplay now. So what this says here is you've entered turn-based mode, the game has paused around you and time is broken down into rounds that represent 6 seconds each. Turn-based mode can be used to avoid traps, peril, or being spotted. So basically what that means is, if you notice at the bottom, we've got just below where it says Y end turn, we've got a yellow bar. Now if I move my cursor, so it's very much like battle mode this, I can put it right over to here. We notice the yellow bar's gone down now, and then the actual cursor area is turned red. So if I go to there, if I put it onto the red bit and press A to confirm it, she'll walk over there, but now I can't do anything else now. So I mean, I can use my spells and stuff like that if I need to, but I can't move anywhere else. So basically, if I end my turn, this changes to the next character now. So now I'm looking at what they call her, Shadowheart, and I can do the same with her. I can move her over to the bridge over here, and I can press the A button and she will move over there. So as you can see, you can start to place your characters in different positions, which may help you plan for some imminent battle. And you can do the same with the other two as well. So that's turn-based mode. So you know, it can come in handy for certain situations, if you, like it said, if you want to try and avoid some traps and stuff like that, because if you're walking around in real time and they all follow each other, some of them can just wander off a little bit and walk over a trap and get you all blown up. So if you want to be just that little bit more careful and sure of where you're placing your characters, then use turn-based mode. So let's get back out of turn-based mode anyway. Let's just press that, and everybody's now grouped up back together. But remember, you can use the thing on the left as well. If I just show you that, if I press now split, that means Lae'zel, whatever her name is now split from the party. Now, if I choose Lae'zel, I can now move her around, or Lae'zel. I can now move her around without the rest of the party. So that's another way of doing it. If I choose Shadowheart, I can now choose Shadowheart, but because she's still tied to the other two will follow her around until you decide to change things. So it's a little bit finicky, this bit. So to put them all back together, you just go to the bottom one of the three I normally do, and click group, and that's everybody back together again. So there we go. That is turn-based mode. Now the other thing is to gain high. So when you're in a battle, it's best if you normally gain some height. So in fact, actually, what I'll do is I'll get to another area of the map, and I will show you. I'll be back in a mo. So I'm back at the chapel, which I was talking about earlier, where I had that nice early battle, and let's just say I want to jump up onto a higher level to gain an advantage. So if I press my right trigger button, actually I do apologise, my RB button, which actually gets you into these three dials here, which are where all your spells and your weapons are and everything. So you basically choose each of these in turn. You will get an action spell. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you've got an action spell, a bonus action, and then you may have some reactions and stuff like that to choose from as well. So if I choose my jump action here, and I put it up there, you'll notice that she will go to there, and she's able to jump up onto there. So you can actually use this jump to a great advantage. So let's say there are some people that are down here, then you would basically get more hit points if you were higher up from them than you would if you were on the same level or even below. So it usually is an advantage to just get some height on your enemies, and you will find that you get more hit points against them. So just a nice little tip there, actually. And also use environmental impacts as well. So there may be things that you can topple, like this statue here. I mean, I've not tried this, I'm only surmising really, but it may be a case where you've got some enemies below, and if you shoot something at this, if you notice that it's a bit wobbly, then you may be able to topple over the statue and it fall on your enemies below and crush them. So yeah, make good use of your environment. Different things that you may get, flammable floors where you can set them on fire and burn your enemies, or there's all sorts of stuff you can do. So yeah, use your environment very, very well, and you should be able to defeat your enemies a lot easier than just blatantly firing weapons at them all the time. I would, generally speaking as well, always carry a shovel around with you. Sometimes you come across various areas where something's buried, and having a shovel with you will allow you to get at it. So it may be some buried treasure, and you can dig that treasure up and either use it or go and sell it somewhere. So yeah, carry a shovel with you. Have a balanced team as well. So if you notice, if you look at the team that I've got, now I didn't plan this from the start. This is how it's just happened, really. But what you're trying to do, you don't really want all all of the same class, if you like. So you don't want all spellcasters, for example. You don't want all tanks and things like that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you can't play the game, and from what I can gather, you should be able to play the game and finish the game doing whatever you want to do. And it's like I said, I'm going back to my first tip. You know, play the game how you like. But generally speaking, probably to get the most out of the game, you're going to want some kind of balanced game. So you notice that this character here is actually a cleric, and so clerics have certain characteristics. So, well, sorry, not proficiencies, I should say. So, athletics, sleight of hand of +1, but the main one's insight. So, wisdom. Read people and situations, detect lies, so she can do that. She's medical type as well, a healer, so she's going to be able to heal your party. Oh, by the way, a tip here as well is if you get a healing spell, try and get a healing spell that you can use from a distance. There's another healing spell where you need to be actually near the person to do it, but if you can get the healing spell that you can throw, basically, from a distance, then that's even better, because if somebody's injured who's quite away from you and you can't get to them, you can literally just fire the spell at them and heal them from a distance. So yeah, another little bonus tip there, really. So yeah, she's the cleric, and she can heal people. Let's have a look at my main character. So basically what she's got for her is she's got insight, which is similar to the cleric, but she's also got persuasion as well. So turn on the charm, coax and cajole. So she gets a +3 on the die, on die rolls. So that's what she's got, and she's a wizard. So she's obviously very competent and proficient at spells as well. So she's slightly different to the cleric, although clerics are quite good at spells also. Then we have the High Elf here, and he's a rogue. And let's have a look at his proficiencies. So acrobatics he's very good at. He's very good at perception, so he's got +3 at perception. Also, forgot these, didn't we? Sleight of hand and stealth as well. So if you're wanting somebody stealthy to sneak around, then he's the one to use there. He's also got +2 deception, +2 performance. So yeah, he's got quite a bit of stuff. So rogues, you know, generally the sneaky types that will sneak up, perhaps using as an assassin type and stuff like that. So yeah, there's the rogue, and then the final one, Lae'zel, is a soldier. So she's kind of a tank, I suppose, really. If you notice, her strength is 17, so she's quite strong. So yeah, you know, it's kind of it's a bit of a mixing it up type thing, isn't it? So like I say, there's nothing wrong in having all the same type, but you know, whether that would be a bit boring or not, it's nice to have people with or characters with different abilities. So yeah, so try and get a bit of a balanced team going if you can. Which I would say is generally best for the best experience. So if you do have any spells, by the way, any spells that are persistent, like there's one, I can't remember what they call it. There's one where these swords are spinning round. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of it, but if you get a spell like that, they are persistent spells, so they will just stay there for as long as it takes for you to stop them. So just be careful, because if you've got like a whirlwind of swords spinning round and your characters decide to walk into it, they will get damaged themselves. So just be very, very careful of persistent spells. So yeah, I think if just about sort of getting there, really. I think we've more or less covered everything there that I wanted to actually go through. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Thank you very, very much for watching. As I said, I'm not the you know, the most knowledgeable person on RPGs. I'm more of a kind of jack of all games kind of thing, but hopefully that's given you a bit of an insight into Baldur's Gate 3. And you know, if you are new to the genre and anything, hopefully that's given you just a little bit of an insight into how to get the best out of the game. But it is a really good game. There are one or two issues with it, like as I've shown you, particularly on Geforce now, just one or two little breakups here and there, and loss of sound here and there, but it depends on what session you're on. Some sessions seem to be better than others. I think it depends what rig you get given, to be honest. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and please subscribe to the channel for more content and give the video a thumbs up. Remember, I've got a Discord, so I'll put a link in the description, and until next time, take care and bye for now.